we're able to enjoy some of this warmth because that winter weather, it's going to be back tonight, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be much colder than even this weekend past was. Remember, this weekend we got a decent amount of snow, but it was cold, but it wasn't too frigid, and then we've been warming up the past couple of days. This system's kind of the opposite. We've got a lot more cold air on the way and just a slight chance for some winter weather. The reason why? Where the low pressure is. Remember, but over this weekend, the center of low pressure, the heart of the storm, was actually right over us, right in central Arkansas, and we were able to get that cold north wind right around it. With this next storm system, the low pressure is way off towards the north. We're not going to be anywhere near it, but with all that cold air that's coming in behind it is coming right towards Arkansas and Oklahoma. We'll only be able to squeeze out a little bit of precipitation with this storm. All right, the clouds have increased this evening, sometimes giving us a really beautiful sunset. Here's what we're expecting for your Wednesday. First of all, tonight, quiet, kind of cloudy at times. But then by tomorrow morning, right around sunrise, 7 to 8 o'clock, we'll get some of these light rain showers. Not a big deal. No thunderstorms, no severe weather, nothing like that. We'll probably start in the 40s too. But as the north wind picks up, we're going to watch temperatures drop the rest of the day. And right around noon, right around lunchtime tomorrow, especially from north to south, some of us in Benton County, Washington County, Carroll County, Madison County will start to switch over to a little bit of freezing drizzle and mist, and we could have a couple hours of that. In the River Valley, it's going to be a little bit harder. We've got to wait for the cold air to just move through the mountains. We may not really see some of the wintry type of weather closer to 3 or 4 o'clock, but we'll watch that transition over to some cold weather as we go in throughout the afternoon. Eventually, by the time we get closer to sunset, some of the little bit of wintry mix we could turn over to flurries. But we're really kind of keeping our eye right in the middle of the day. We're expecting a mix of some freezing drizzle and some sleet. And we're only talking about maybe a thin glaze on some colder surfaces, mailbox, vehicles parked outside, maybe the roof a little bit, the gutters. But we could be looking at some bridges and overpasses that might turn slick tomorrow afternoon. And we've got a weather alert for tomorrow because the bulk of the wintry weather, even though it's going to be light, will come in right for that evening commute. So that's something we really got to watch out for. It's going to be nice driving to work and headed to school tomorrow morning. In the afternoon, not so much. We'll start with the 40s and we'll watch temperatures crash the rest of the day. We'll start some upper 20s right after early in the afternoon, and then later in the evening we'll drop to the low 20s and some teens. That north wind picking up to about 20 miles per hour. In the River Valley, we'll start in the 40s. Then we'll drop to 30s for much of the afternoon. It may take us a little bit longer to switch over to some very light winter precip, but then 20s later in the evening. Let's walk through it together this evening. We just got a lot of clouds area-wide. That south wind still out there. Notice how temperatures are having a hard time dropping. In fact, some of us may even have some 50s tomorrow morning. We'll have to watch that closely, but since temperatures are warm in the morning, we'll just get, the green color. We'll just get light rain showers. But later into the afternoon, some of that sleet and a little bit of that freezing rain, which is indicated by this pink color, will start to mix in from north to south, and then eventually maybe clipping parts of the River Valley. But towards the north, we may switch over to some snow flurries. We're not talking about a lot in terms of accumulation. There could be maybe a dusting farther towards the east, maybe east of Huntsville, but there could be some slick spots. So for the northern part of Arkansas, including Fort Smith, Clarksville, northbound to the state line with Missouri and parts of eastern Oklahoma, we could get a little bit of that wintry mix. Very, very light. Nothing like the storm system that we just had, but there could be a few slick spots on bridges and overpasses. So just keep your eye out. You really probably won't be able to see it very well. That's probably the more dangerous part about this. Sometimes we get freezing rain events and you can see it, right? There's ice everywhere. This is not going to be one of those events. So it's kind of hard to see whether something is slick or not. So that's why we got that weather alert tomorrow afternoon for the evening commute, because things could get a little dicey on some bridges and overpasses.
Now that drive home tomorrow night may be a little difficult.
Oh yeah.
In some areas.
In some areas, and then it's going to get cold.
Yeah, and especially when it's like, starting the sun going down and then it's dark. That's always just kind of a rougher time.
For sure.
All right, Matt, thanks.